Let's jam.
Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. Start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, all you've got to do is practice. Practice makes perfect, and perfect means that it's Wednesday night. And, of course, as usual, you must be all right because here you are on the Wednesday night super-duper Painting with Menoth John extravaganza circa 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got more viewers than the impeachment of Donald Trump. I feel that there was something like that. I am, of course, Menoth John. I am the guy who is likely to paint tonight, maybe. Not sure what that's going to be. Could be anything. And one of the topics we're going to discuss is moldy wet palettes and how that's a sign of your lack of hobbying. So, of course, up in the catbird seat, you know him, you love him. He's been here for years and years. He'd never bring you to tears. That is Mr. John Spencer.
Heyo.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what. You know what? We're here on the Painting with Menoth John show. You get two hosts for the price of one. You really do. I mean,
That's right.
It's productivity in its purest form. I, of course, am not wearing glasses today, so I can barely see anything. But I felt like that I owed it to the community, John, to not wear glasses tonight. I don't know why, but I'm going to be painting with my glasses off, so I thought I would just take them off now and all that kind of stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday night. I hope that you've got in front of you a miniature or a larger miniature or a maxiature, if you will, and you are going to, do your art tonight because, it's art for art's sake. Art's on the loose, John. You can't hope to contain it.
You can't contain art. No one can
No,
contain
you can only hope to control it, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use brush control. We're going to use brushes that have flat tips on it. We're going to use brushes that have roundy tips on it, and then we're going to use some brushes that we don't even know what they're for. Like this one here. I have no purpose for this brush, but it's out and it could get used tonight, folks. You don't know. You have to stay tuned. You have to. John, on Wednesday nights when we get together and we do the Painting with Menoth John show, anything can happen.
Just about anything.
Just about anything can happen. It probably will. The first thing, the best way to make sure that we're going to have an adventurous 90 minutes in front of the podcasting rig is to find out what it is that we're going to have as a beverage. John, are you prepared to share with the brush heads right now what it is that you are going to be drinking?
Oh yeah. It's a weird concoction.
We like weird concoctions here on the Painting with Menoth John Wednesday night extravaganza.
Well, as you might have known from my picture I sent to you on what was that, Saturday?
Yes.
I am out of Kraken as I went into my reserve bottle of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire, which is a cinnamon whiskey.
Yeah, cinnamon whiskey. You can't argue with that. Cinnamon whiskey is a nice way to go. Hey,
it's
Crimson.
a lot less sweet than Fireball, so it's a different
nice.
Different taste.
Have you had the Jim Beam?
I have.
One?
It is sort of a middle ground between the two of them.
Okay, so the Jim Beam's maybe a little bit on the harsher side. The Jack Daniel's is a little sweeter.
No. The Fireball is the sweetest.
Okay.
And then down to Jack Daniel's. I don't want to say it's harsher, but it's the more whiskey-y of them.
Fair enough.
But I got the Jack in here, and then I had a little bit of cinnamon schnapps my mom gave me.
Very nice.
So I threw a little bit of that in there, and then I topped it off with some Dr. Pepper cherry because it didn't have regular Dr. Pepper in the store. So
That's
fuck it.
fine. No, that's fine. You did well with that combination. Ladies and gentlemen, you just kind of sometimes you take a handful of dice and you roll those dice, and that's what you're drinking.
Yep.
So I am going to be drinking something, keeping in with the theme. So, when you have more than one episode per year, you can have a theme. And last episode we talked about a bitchy little rum from Grand Cayman. And this time we're going to talk about a robust double oaked barrel finished select Woodford Reserve. This is the double oaked version of it. It's not one oak. There's two oaks in here.
Two oaks.
I feel like
one oak. That's double.
It's like double the oak. And the thing you have to ask yourself at that point is how much more oak could it be? And the answer is no more oak. And this is so much oak that you can only get it on a cruise ship, as far as I know. I mean, that's where I got it. And
John, did you know that has twice as much oak as my middle name?
Shut the fuck up. It has 2x oak compared to Oakland, which
that's right.
There you go. I mean, when I was talking about this on Beer Forge, which is the only podcast that happens less frequently than Painting with Menoth John.
Fair.
We were talking about this, and that was something I failed to share with the Beer Forgers, is that it was double the John Oakland Spencer.
That's right, double.
So it's smooth. I mean, it is Woodford Reserve isn't exactly a trip down Buzzsaw Lane, but this is even smoother. And for those of you who are reconnecting. Okay, so folks, either my stream has completely died also, or it is just a John thing. Okay, you're back? John?
I am back. It's just that thing.
It was either you or me. It could have been me this time. My internet's my internet's been super unstable recently.
Who's got two thumbs and Hedges' internet went out? This guy.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. So for those of you who've been longtime watchers of the Painting with Menoth John Sunday night experience, you will recognize this shot glass immediately as the bottoms up monkey glass.
Oh,
and so we're having the double oaked in a double monkey shot glass. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
I've got a slightly larger glass, but
that is. Folks, I think we've talked about koala bears and shit that have had all their shit burned up, and wombats and things like that, and that's genuinely sad. This time we're going to be a shout out to another sad event, which is known as the impeachment, because never has there been a more kangaroo court. See how I brought that around full circle to Australia?
Absolutely. Well done, sir.
So there you go. On behalf of the Senate, and especially Mitch McConnell, hey, Ron.
Ron.
What a bag of dicks that guy is. All right.
Yeah. He is the entire bag.
Yep. So, you can buy bags of dicks as gummy dicks.
The ones I thought were the like sweet tarty type ones.
Oh, really? Well, nobody will argue with sticking a sweet and sour dick in your mouth. So,
generally not. Just don't stick your dick in sweet and sour, because that is no good.
No, you're gonna end up with an orange dick out of the deal too. So I mean, how do they even make that
already got one of those
color?
in the White House.
But how do they even make that color? I don't even understand it.
I don't know.
It's like
it shouldn't be natural, but it sure looks.
It's like glucose syrup that it glows in the dark, and you're supposed to go, yeah, that's Chinese. That's absolutely fucking Chinese.
I mean, yeah, they use those colors all the time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an ancient Chinese recipe.
We're oftentimes, John. Speaking of China, and we're very topical here on the Painting with Menoth John show. For those of you who were not aware, I mean, all three viewers right now are probably going, "Oh my God, this is the most topical painting show that hasn't done any painting yet I've ever seen." In China right now, they've got a little bit of a situation on their hands in Wuhan. Wuhan is where
I hadn't heard.
where the coronavirus is coming out of. It's killed several people. It's very tragic. Hey, Kathy, thanks for joining us.
I have heard. Didn't hear the area it was at. I heard about the virus.
Yeah, it was Wuhan, and basically the thing I've taken from it is that that the clans that live there are some of the toughest people in all of China, and they have to be to really deal with the situation they have, because I've heard that Wuhan clans ain't nothing to fuck with.
That was a really long setup, but I appreciate it.
It was a good one. Wasn't it?
Did you know my boss did not know who the Wu-Tang Clan was?
I'm sorry for that. They can, Jesus Christ. Hey, Frank.
I explained it to him.
Exactly. The most tragic part of the whole corona virus thing that's going on in Wuhan is that there's a very large number of children that live in that area. It's one of the areas that's really really kind of taken to the relaxation of the one or two child policy that the Chinese government has kind of walked away from a little bit. And you know that it's well known that that's the case, because Wuhan is for the children, and we all know that. So, for those of you playing,
I'm just curious, John. Did you think of those in advance, or were those off the top of your head?
Those were
still impressive.
Those were off the top of my head earlier today, and I posted them on Facebook. And I thought that I would share them with the greater painting, because Lord knows this show's got fucking reach. I mean, we're up to 6. We're up to 6 people watching it now. I mean, fuck. We're pretty soon. We're going to be like CNN, Christensen News Network. You know.
There you go.
This just did.
We can't have much worse news than the real networks.
I know, right? CNN. If it was the Christensen News Network, the crawl across the bottom literally would be, Wuhan clans ain't nothing to fuck with. It would be amazing. I think it's the year of the rat soon. It could be the year of the rat soon. We're getting close. I was just noticing. I pulled up for reasons that I can't really go into right now. It's very secret. The hours of the Shanghai Roastery in Shanghai, and I was concerned about. They said the Chinese New Year hours may differ because it's that time. After the joke, I'm rethinking my choice. There you go. Kathy, after my jokes, Belinda Librarian reconsiders her choices fairly frequently, but somehow she stuck around, if you can believe it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, John, is there any other business we should take care of?
I don't think there's any other business to take care of. It's not really our purview. I mean, we handled our business.
Yeah. Tectonic Craft Studios, buy some shit. They're awesome. If you're bored on a Sunday, watch More Than Dice. It's a good show. It's got people on it. They paint things more than I probably do. And Kathy's a great painter, and John's awesome, and Gonzo's a great guy too. So boom. Frank the Tank, I'm drinking double oaked Woodford Reserve out of the double monkey glass. And John?
It's Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire whiskey with some cinnamon schnapps and some Dr. Pepper cherry.
So more or less the left-hand side of the liquor cabinet.
I mean, it was that, or grab the bottle of limoncello and drink that.
Oh, limoncello, you say? Limoncello is delightful.
It is. My sister had bought a bottle, and my mom was like, "Well, your sister's all about alcohol, so take everything home with you." I'm like, "Okay."
There you go.
Don't tell me twice.
No, exactly. Twist my arm for the booze. When I was in Milano, doing the roastery there, I became a very frequent stop at a place called Majestic Cafe, and I would go there and I had to have aperitivo, and which is where you order a drink and they bring you a buffet right to your table, and they don't charge you for it for some reason. It's like happy hour on effing steroids. One of the time, and they would usually finish it off with some limoncello. Oh, Mr. John, would you like some limoncello? And I was like, oh, of course I'd like some limoncello. And then they said, but we have something special for you. We have something special for you. We'd like you to try Amaro del Capo. And Amaro del Capo is more herbal and a little bit bitter, and I like it. I like it actually better than limoncello. Limoncello is delicious, don't get me wrong, but it's not as complex as Amaro del Capo. So if you ever get a chance, little Amaro del Capo, I'm telling you. Anyway, I should probably paint something, right? This is a painting show.
Yeah, I'm going to quote-unquote paint. I need to seal Doc Ock. I finished him last night.
Sweet. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch over here to the painting cam. And we'll go ahead and... I should probably turn a light on. Get a little extra light
Yeah,
here.
the light.
So, the first thing we're not as topical as we used to be, and someday we might change that. You never know. I mean, someday we
That's
might
because
get.
we're not as regular as we used to be.
Oh
We don't
no.
need as much fiber and all.
Oh, dude. So let's talk about fiber for a second, guys, because now I'm officially old, right? 51. Metamucil is amazing. You can have life-changing poops with that stuff. Let me tell you what. You take a. Life is good when you sit down, you take a shit, and you get up afterwards and you go, man, that was good, and you're proud of yourself. And then you get out, you leave the bathroom, and you go, I can have a great day now. That was Metamucil, and I'll tell you what, it's good in the breakfast time. It's a nice appetite suppressant. It's good stuff. So, we're sponsored by Metamucil all of a sudden.
John, would you say you had happy poops?
Oh, I had very happy poops. I tell you what, it's just amazing. It cuts down on tummy bloat too, if that's a
Much hate to
concern.
say it. I have enough problems. I might have to look into that.
Dude, it is fantastic. You'll crap in a way that you didn't think was humanly possible.
So I mean, I don't want to turn this into the crap cast, but I have crapped in pretty much every way possible because my stomach is terrible.
There's no reason why this can't be the crapcast. I mean, there's literally nothing standing in our way. We don't have sponsors. We're not going to offend anybody. I mean, we got Kathy and we got Frank the Tank. We've got I think Crimson's still around. We're at 7. There's 4 other people I haven't mentioned.
Crimson away with this crap talk yet.
Oh yeah, pooping with Menoth John is some of the best Menoth John. So
with Menoth John. Oh my.
All right, well that lamp isn't working, so that's fine. All right, so we'll just go with this one up here. I'm gonna paint. So I was working on this guy last time. This is this little Tabaxi rogue dude that is Belinda's D&D character, and we're going to continue on with that today. We're going to do some washes. I did do the zenithal shading like I want to do, and I don't know. I guess maybe I didn't do it. I'm a little out of practice, to be honest with you, and it didn't turn out super the way I would want it to. So I'm gonna fall back on some old tricks of the trade and do a little bit of washing while we're at it. So anyhow.
Well, you keep all your tricks in practice because I mean sometimes you just need the old tricks.
Yeah, you do have to keep the old tricks around, and so we're just going to do a little bit of liberal loving of this character a little bit. Just put a little bit here and try to. It'll darken this green up a little bit. I think it'll make it a little bit more of a satisfying color than where I netted out with it. So
brush on my varnish here. You know, John, I own an airbrush. I just haven't even set it up yet.
I do like sealing with an airbrush. I got to tell you. And when I got my airbrush, go ahead.
At some point, I will. I have set up in another room. It will be, which is good because you don't want to use that on a podcast because that's loud.
It is.
But plus, I want to let Banyan use it as well because I mean, he's my roommate and all. Should be nice.
Of course.
It's technically his house.
There you go.
Actually, it's officially his house and not even just technically.
It is legally recognized as his house. All right.
Indeed. In all legalities. All right, let's do that.
All right, so we're just putting a little bit of this. This is Citadel Coelia Green Shade. And we're just going to go ahead and just kind of slap it on here. And let it do its magics.
Yeah, I mean, Banyan just bought some paints first time in a long time, and he was going like, "Oh, I got this and this and this," and I was like, "I got these washes." I'm like, "You got GW washes, right?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Ooh, mistake."
Mistakes are made. I
mean,
basically
there are some good washes out there. GW.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm not a huge fan of GW paints. I am religious about their washes. They're just too good.
That's good. And actually, I'm a fan of some of the what you can do with some of their new ones, contrast paints.
Yeah,
Not so much as just a coat over, you know, over a priming, but like over other colors and all. You can do a lot of good stuff with that.
So I think that's maybe what I need to try because I did buy a few of them, and I really I'm gonna end up repainting some of the ones that I got for my zombie fish. They just did not turn out the way I had hoped they would. So
Well, I
there you
mean,
go.
to be honest, John,
To be
your
fair,
skill is far above just put contrast paints on it.
yeah. Well, yeah. I expect different things from when I paint.
Exactly. I mean, that's fine. That's knowing what you're expecting from your paint jobs. I mean, honestly, I'm even with how little I paint, I'm beyond the just throw some contrast paint and be done with it, because I may not do much more than that, but I do enough more that I'm not super a fan of just contrast paint and go.
Yeah. It just for me it's two dimensional looking with it on there.
Yeah,
And maybe I just didn't do a good job of of priming it right. I definitely want to try. Liberal Lovin' is the name of Menoth John's sex tape. That's hilarious. You know, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story. I didn't always used to be this liberal. I used to be as conservative as you want, and tell you what it took was to not have quite so much, and to get knocked down a couple of pegs. To realize that for the most part, those policies that are getting espoused from one side of the party are kind of looking out for number one, and that's kind of number two.
yeah, that's not really where we want to be.
No, it's not where I want to be at all. And I spent too much time kind of scrimping and saving, and I was in between jobs, and I had 2 kids and no damn insurance, and that's some scary ass shit. You are exactly one whoopsie away from bankruptcy at that point, and
Yeah, no doubt.
that's not okay. There's a lot of working people. I was talking to somebody at the gym today, and they just kind of pissed me off. I thought they were decent human beings, but I guess I was wrong. But it's so easy to sit there and criticize people who maybe come from a different land and are trying to make their way in this country. I've met a lot of immigrants in a lot of different places, and in general, handouts aren't what what they want. They want an opportunity to prove themselves and to be
No, I mean,
a good a member of the society.
you just gonna work sort of down to those low end jobs, the warehousing and all that. You get one of those guys in, and they are a hard worker.
Hell yeah.
They're great.
Yep.
I mean, honestly,
I've,
we had one. I forget the guy's name. It was years ago. Came into Alliance Games Distribution, and he was from Eastern Europe, and had just come in, and he was the hardest worker we had.
yep.
And I mean, he was the best.
You think about what it takes to make the decision to leave everything that you know behind. And maybe it's your friends, maybe it's your family,
Mhm.
and to move away to a different country to try to make some money, just so you have the opportunity to send some of it back and make things better for your loved ones and your family and those kinds of things. That's no joke. And
No, it's not.
and to sit here and say that you shouldn't do that because you're taking jobs away from Americans that for fuck's sakes they wouldn't take in the first place.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but that informed my attitude in probably the last, I don't know, 10 years. And now all I want is people to be able to have goddamn health care.
Yeah, no doubt.
I just
It's a big scary for people. I mean,
I just don't want people to die.
ooh, what's going on?
I don't want people to die, and I don't want them to
Yeah.
go. I don't want them to have to choose to commit suicide because they don't want to bankrupt their family. What kind of hot bullshit is that?
Yeah, that is, I guess, the hottest of hot bullshit, honestly.
And why? So some fucking billionaire can have another boat? Bitch, please. And so, yeah, I mean, if that makes me liberal, then fine, I'm liberal. And that's okay. I'll live with that.
Yeah, I mean, we are, we are. I mean, not everyone on either side is good or bad or whatever. And it's like that for all things. I mean, we're all individuals, and some people just have different tolerances for the bullshit. Maybe there's just something they're scared of.
Yep.
Maybe it's not even rational. There's some irrational stuff in there, and I understand that. Um, so, I mean, I try not to judge too harshly.
Except for Mitch McConnell. He's a bag of dicks.
Yeah, well, he's earned that. But I like what Crimson says. He says, mayor of a small city way up north said it best. Canadians come from all over. Just for some of them, it takes longer to get here.
Yeah, I hear you. That's a good way of putting
Sorry
it.
if we're dragging you down with a little bit of politics talk, guys, but, it's real. We happen to sometimes.
Sorry, man. Yeah, I know. I apologize, folks. We try to keep it positive here on the Pain with Men off on Wednesday night extravaganza. Sorry if I'm bringing anybody down.
Yeah, so, it's all good, though. So,
All right.
Kathy had mentioned that she said her favorite discovery was mixing yellow with contrast snakebite leather, which makes some good tans and browns. And,
Ooh.
I mean, honestly, tans and browns are one of those colors where they make a million of them, but if you can mix your own, you got so many more options then.
Snakebite leather, you say? Right here on camera, you say?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There you go. So I like that. I love Kathy because she does a ton of mixing her own paints.
Yeah.
And I am, of course, the opposite of that. I try not to. I mean, actually, it's one thing I like about the Marvel Crisis Protocol, or like D&D characters like you're painting.
Yep.
Is that since you're doing a one-off, it's not like you need to ever make that color again. You just need to paint that model. When it's done, if you can figure out the color again, use it for something else, cool. If not, hey, you know what? That one model's done. It's all good.
Yep, makes a lot of sense.
That's what we're liking about this, because me and the guys have been painting a bit. Oh, and for hobby content, John, I don't know if you saw, I had a giant game of Star Wars Legion Sunday.
No, tell me about it.
Yeah, so it was me and my buddy Al Marshall versus his cousin Mikey and his cousin's buddy Regis. Marshall and I were playing Rebels, and Mikey and Regis were playing Imperials. We decided to go all in. We didn't realize they hadn't actually played any large point value games before.
Okay.
They'd only done skirmish, not a full 800 points.
Okay.
And we gave them each a full 800 points, and we each had a full 800 points.
How did that do for the game?
It was a heck of a game.
Did it slow down a lot, or?
The early turns were a little slow. You play on a slightly larger board too, just to be able to accommodate all your troops.
Yep.
But it didn't feel overcrowded or anything.
Good.
And we're still rocking generally less troops than the average 40K game.
Yeah.
As far as overall models. And I mean, the first couple turns were really even, but then I guess about turn 3-4 that really started to turn as we were able to leverage some of our firepower and tactics to really start putting the pressure on those guys. In highlights, Luke Skywalker jumped over a wall of a compound and murdered the crap out of Director Krennic. Suck it, Mister. I made the Death Star. Bosk was doing tons of work for them, and then he unfortunately walked directly into the line of everything. And it was like one of those scenes at the end of a Western where the guy gets hit by everything and goes down. So he hung in there like a champ for a bit, but I mean, he just can't. It had those FD laser cannons, those big dish laser cannons from Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
And a squad of troopers, and it just was unfortunate.
Speaking of Star Wars, guess what I did today?
It was a good time. We had a good time. Ended up.
Guess what I did
What's that?
today? I finished the Clone Wars finally.
Oh yeah, because they just came out with the new one.
Well, this is the
New season, right?
well, no, is Clone Wars done? The cartoon.
I think I think this is the final season, the one that just came out.
Okay, this season 6. So it was amazing. It was really well done. It might be my favorite Star Wars. I thought it was finished a long time ago, but I guess if they had another season or something after they went to the Disney Channel, I just caught it.
Yeah, they did. I think it literally just released recently,
Really? Well,
and I've heard good things about that. I've heard good things about, excuse me, later seasons of Clone Wars. It's just apparently the first couple seasons are a bit of a slog.
the first maybe 1 or 2 seasons are a little bit of a slog, but boy oh boy, when they hit their stride, it's worth working your way through. I know that a lot of times we've talked about, holy shit, if I've got to get through so many seasons of something, is it really worth my time? And I'm here to tell you, this is worth your time.
Okay, that's cool. I wasn't sure. I mean, I'm not always a big one on slogging through, especially because I have so little time to watch series.
Yep.
You know, with when work picks up, suddenly I'd lose a lot of time after work, where I'd usually watch TV while I'm eating dinner.
Yep. I've been a
But I'll see if I can fix it in.
I've been a pretty serious gym rat for a while here, and
Hmm.
and so I get through 3 episodes every workout, and that means that I've seen a lot of Star Wars recently, and I've really enjoyed it. So we're gonna let her
Awesome. Well, like I
dry.
said, I'll put it on a list if I can make it to it.
We're gonna let her dry for a little while, I think, and then I've got to decide what to do with Mr. Gatorman here. As I look at him, the thing that makes me sad about working on the Gatorman is that the Shamblers themselves are such a hot goddamn mess because of the way I did the contrast paints on them that I kind of just want to like reprime the fish and before I even start this thing. But I don't know. It's something to paint, I guess. I've also got Vlad here that I'm painting up in protectorate colors because he's gonna play for my my protectorate army. Let's work on him for a little while. Okay, so we got here.
There you go.
Okay, from Kathy Hill. Yeah, the bonus is that it's thin, but not as thin as as a wash. Great for leathers. Hail Boop. Hail you. So
That would be Congo the Dromagun, if you don't remember.
Congo, you gotta stick with a name that I can remember, or I'm gonna have a problem because I'm like that. All right, so I might as well put some washes on this guy, I guess. See how he turns out after I wash the piss out of him.
It's funny, Congo, that you show up right as he starts talking about Kador. How do you do that?
I know, right? And this is Heretic Kador. This is alternative timeline Menoth Kador. So you'll have to excuse that. I almost went and played War Machine on Wednesday, and then I didn't. I decided to stay home, and the boys and I watched Army of Darkness.
Oh, okay.
God,
Awesome.
that I think I made the right decision. I'm very
I mean,
much.
I do love Army of Darkness.
Yeah, that movie's really good. And the kids loved it, and it is so over the top. It's just, such a perfect little Sam Raimi movie.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Get a little bit of that on there.
Congo's prepping for Adepticon. That's cool.
Oh, really? Congo? Maybe we need to get together. Maybe I should drive down and see you. Have a beer. Because I will be, in Racine. Probably, I might go down to Adepticon for the Vault Tour. I think that's the game plan right now is for Charlie and I to come down and play in the Vault Tour event for Keyforge.
I mean, it is sort of a. I mean, relatively localish for you.
It is. In the past, I have generally not stayed at the event. I generally would just drive down for a day. I've once upon a time I would go and do the, the whole week and stuff like that. But Jesus, I can't justify that. I haven't done a full on con in
No.
forever. The only cons I've been doing recently are
Yeah, I have a
John
hard time
cons.
justifying a lot of those.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time when, God, and it wasn't that long ago. Sounding like an old man all of a sudden. I remember back in the day when we used to
I
go.
did it all day at work.
Yeah. I remember when we used to go to
Some young
cons.
doesn't know who, doesn't really know who Elton John is or something stupid like that.
Oh, don't make me beat the piss.
By
out
the way,
of
that was a
him.
real thing that happened this week.
Oh God.
She does not know who Elton John is really. Didn't they have a movie about him come out?
Oh my God, piss on
Yes.
you. Yes. But shut up. No, that's Freddie Mercury. Good job. No.
Actually, both. I jokingly call her fetus sometimes.
Oh, these kids today with their rock and roll music. That's not rock and roll music.
Yeah. It's funny when the other younger people are like talking to her like, "You don't know this? Were you like under a rock? Because I'm your age and I know who Elton John is." So, anyways,
Yep.
I'm just doing some extra work. I think the varnish came up a little tiny bit. Maybe did an extra drop of gloss more than I should have. Came up a little bit more shiny than I wanted.
So for me, what I'm doing here is
The
I'm
parts.
using Reichland Flesh Shade just to tint the color, the sanguine base. I just think it gives it a nice tint. It warms it up a little, just a tiny little bit more, and I really like it. I'm not really using it as a traditional wash per se, but it does tint it, and I like what it does, especially when I come back with, and I do a little bit of work with the sanguine highlight. I think it's a nice combination.
Yeah, I used the Sanguine base as the base for my Iron Man. I'm going to bring it up quite a bit from there, but
Yeah, it's a nice place to
it's just a
start.
good dark red, covers well. It's a great starting point.
Yep. Hey, Kathy Wapple just gave me a thumbs up on tinting. Hey, Ron.
Damn. Wait till I got a brush in my hand, then say Ron.
Gonna get out some more booze into this shot glass. Remember, folks, John Con 2020 coming to a theater near you on July 10th, 11th, and 12th. We had our first organizational meeting via Blue Jeans, which is a video conferencing software, where we talked about Keyforge events, War Machine events, professional chefs catering. We'll have Dan Vanderkoy running a. Oh, that's cool. Little Doc Ock action. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very traditional colors for Doc
I'm
Ock.
going to dry brush over the. Yeah, I instead of going full on yellow though, I went with the rucksack tan because I figured it was close enough to yellow without getting obnoxious.
I think that's a fine idea. We talked about there's going to be 2 RPGs highly likely. One is going to be a one's going to be a semi-safe for streaming. One that is going to be based on Eclipse Phase, which is a post-human sci-fi RPG. And then there's going to be one that is not going to be televised, that is going to take place on Sunday night, that has every reason to believe that it is going to be based on the Chuck Tingle RPG. So something pounded in the butt by something.
I'm now scared a little bit. Just a little bit.
Chuck, are you aware of who Chuck Tingle is?
Not off the top of my head, and but context clues give me an idea.
Chuck Tingle is a pseudonym for a number of different artists that do it's hard to describe the. It's erotica, I guess. Ostensibly gay erotica, but it also has like a number of his titles. Let me look it up here real quick. Let me look some of these titles up because they're in and of themselves they're sort of hilarious.
Okay.
Hang on, get my keyboard over here. You know, guys, when you tune into the Painting with Menoth John show, you're going to get painting and you're going to get some Chuck Tingle. There you go. Nice.
You guys just
Very
thinking
nice.
that's Ralphie Red and
I like
Silver
that.
Fire, man.
I like that when you get that brought up a little bit higher. That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I went with the sort of they call it the Silver Centurion armor sort of look, where it was red and silver, sort of after he came back after his drunk phase.
I'm not sure I can read a lot of these with a straight face. But we're gonna try.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Hold on.
Yeah, this is it. Pounded in the handsome.
720.
Yeah, Chuck Tingle's the author of such works as Pounded by the Handsome Zombie Elevator, who is also a lawyer. This here we go. Turned Gay by the Living Alpha Diner. Glazed by the Gay Living Donuts. Anally Yours, the Unicorn Sailor. Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt. Top Horn, Turned Gay by the Unicorn Pilots. Pounded in the Butt by My Book, Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt. Vampire Night.
Okay, so
Vampire Night Bus Pounds My Butt. Shared by the Chocolate Milk Cowboys. Let's see. The Curse of Bigfoot Butt Camp. Is good. No, that's Headrush. You're absolutely right. That is absolutely a title. I know these things to be a thing. Here, and this one is the last I'm going to read. Pounded in the Butt by My Book, Pounded in the Butt by My Book, Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt.
I mean, crazy.
This is a good one. Eight Bigfoot buckaroos hate my butt and pound it. So there you go. And that will be the Sunday night one. So stay tuned for action. So John, here's a thing that I found here is that I don't care for large jewels. I don't like doing it using the cheater jewel paint that Citadel has.
Yeah, in large areas, it's not as good.
So I've got Helios here, who is I actually got his name right.
You remembered his name.
I know I'm breaking
Twice now.
I know, Helios.
You did it on the last cast of last year too.
You'd think it was becoming a running joke, but so what I'm going to do here is I painted all these stupid things silver. Now I'm going to paint over them black because if I remember doing jewels properly, the first thing you do is paint the whole thing black. So
yeah, in a lot of cases you do, or a dark base color. Black is a better neutral than silver.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend some time unfucking Helios's jewels. And
Oh, Kathy, you should suggest that for Gonzo's next 24-hour stream. Twitch stream devoted to reading Chuck Tingle books out loud.
Well, I'm sure that there's probably some copyright issues, but pounded in the butt with a cease and desist.
Oh, best title yet. Oh.
Pounded in the butt
I don't
with
think
a
that should have been as
CND.
funny as I found it.
Oh, why not? Why shouldn't it be just as funny as that?
I just found it really hilarious. All right.
The Games Workshop story, pounded in the butt by a CND.
Ooh. Yikes.
That hasn't happened in a while, has it? They've taken a different stance, haven't they? Or are they still CND
Oh, yeah,
the
It
clown?
was a... That's a while ago. They haven't done anything egregious in a while. But I do remember back when Alliance hit them with the cease and desist or the lawsuit for trying to cut out distributors
Pounded in the butt by my
back in
distributor.
the day. All right, let's do that.
This might take a coat or
Base.
two for some of these jewels the way they're going at her, but we'll give her some love here.
That's funny. Give it some love. Get a little bit of the love.
So, but I'm painting, goddammit, and which is different. Not something I've been doing a lot of. I got to get back into the swing of things. I've been kind of a gym rat lately.
Yeah, you were going to tell us about your. You tell us about your moldy. Wet palette.
Yeah, let's talk about my moldy wet palette. You know, folks, it's a sign of danger when you develop black mold in your wet palette because you're not using it enough for you to be getting there and going, you know, I need to change this out. I'm not changing the papers out. They're just sitting there. They're getting moldy. That shouldn't be a thing that you aspire to. Don't do that.
Sure.
Don't let that happen to you, folks. This is from your old Uncle Menoth John here to you. Paint more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Paint more frequently than to let. Man alive! I'll tell you what. Even these hard plastic kits from Privateer have got issues with joints. Good God! I thought I gave a shit when I built this model too. And I got a huge ass.
I think you
seam.
did.
There's a huge ass seam going down these legs. I feel like I could do better these days.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at that. It's just ridiculous. And you know what? The way I've got the camera set up now, John, you can actually see stuff that I'm painting, which is crazy. This show was built on not ever being able to see what exactly I was painting. What it could have been my crotch.
I mean, hell, you painted most of a colossal with a brush, and I had no idea what you were doing.
I know, right? Remember that? Remember that? That was back in the early days of the show.
Yeah, back on Ustream, was it?
Yeah. Yep, that was Ustream.
I remember.
Yeah, you were there.
So
That's how you got
Charms.
That's how you got the gig, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
been here for a while.
Yeah, it was old school. You know, you can't ever tell when you can't get a date what could happen. Sometimes a podcast happens. You don't even know.
Yeah, it was like
God.
2 jobs, 3 places I lived, and a 1 wife ago.
God, no shit. That was before Belinda.
Yeah.
She and I have been together for going on 7 years.
That's why you did a date on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, 7, 8 years now.
Which is
years.
awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We're going to be with each other for the duration, it looks like. And that's fabulous.
Awesome.
That's fabulous. We're not going to fuck it up by getting married, though, I can tell you that. Maybe when we're like 80.
Yeah, I mean, do you really need a piece of paper that says you love each other?
This is a true statement. Nope. Nope, that's where we're at.
Well, and if you don't need any of the legal benefits thereof, there ain't no point.
Well, you know, that's just the thing that we're kind of staring down the barrel of a little bit, that, you know, when society being as it is, kind of imposing itself upon you, death and things like that can get a little complicated. But for now, I mean, neither one of us is planning on doing anything other than being the light in each other's lives.
That's all you need. People put too much on that. There are people who can't wait to get married. And I mean, honestly, if that would make you happy, do it.
No shit.
Be happy.
No shit. I mean, if being married is your thing, then awesome.
I mean, it's like, but if it's not, don't let them not. I mean, it's like the motto of this year: let people have their fun.
Yeah.
I don't care which way their fun goes.
Speaking of which,
let them have their fun.
Speaking of which, my lovely partner just texted me. Perhaps she was watching the show. Let's see.
I hope not. We talk too much about poop and stuff.
Oh no, she understands. When is my show? It's happening right now, sweetheart.
I'm gonna take context clues to say that she was not watching.
That's what I would assume.
I'm good with those context clues. Gets
Yeah.
me through a lot of trouble at work.
Oh
Someone
God,
calls
yeah.
and asks about something. I'm like, oh God, I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure I can fake it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So let's see. Let's put a little here. I'm liking how these jewels. I'm gonna have to definitely put another coat of paint on them, but they're coming along fine. When you put black and you've thinned down your paints probably sufficiently, they don't cover super awesome. I'm stuck.
That's one thing I don't do enough of right now. I need to get back to using my wet palette. I've been just using my standard palette.
Yep. And you know what? I think
John.
John.
The excuse I need to clean up easy.
Yeah. No, I get it. But what you can do is you can leave your paints in that wet palette, and then they can mold, which is super legit. Nobody don't like the smell of mold.
I've been there, done that. That's why I don't use the old P3 palette I have. I have to clean that out. But actually, I don't have to because I don't know if I showed you. I've got this cool thing.
Oh yeah, you had that a long
Did I ever
time
show you
ago.
this?
Yeah, you did. That was a Kickstarter
Yeah, I got it on their
thing.
Kickstarter. Still here, ready to go. Just need to work with it.
Yeah. Well, we should turn that into an event. We should do that on the show. John wets his palette.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. I need to get a little more sorted here over. I got too much of a mess over here. I need to maybe get some shelves or something to put some stuff out of the way.
Fair enough.
I got the bare bones desk because it was a nice, good L shape and the size I wanted, but didn't have any shelves, which is kind of cool underneath. It's got lots of leg room.
Oh, you need
so
leg room.
Stretch, but
yeah. Right now, I don't have a lot of leg room because I got a dog underneath me here.
Dogs are better than leg room. I'm going to say this. It's a controversial
topic.
Hang on. I mean, probably not actually.
Stuck in what way? Belinda has texted me, "Help! I'm stuck."
Uh-oh. At least she hasn't fallen and she can't get up.
Okay, so now I'm texting. Stuck in what way? Seriously. I mean, literally, if she's truly in physical danger, stuck in a window.
Well.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna call her. Hang on. This ought to be good. Okay. So this is real. She's actually stuck. So you're stuck in a window? Okay, so you need me to physically come over there right now and extricate you. Okay, are you falling? Are you like going to die before I get there? Okay, I'll be over. Love you, bye. You know, folks, we've had some odd reasons why the Painting with Menoth John show has ended. Lack of creativity, lack of things to do. Girlfriend stuck in a window is a whole brand new one. And she is physically stuck outside the window trying to get one of her cats. So, John, I'd hate to tell you, but there will be no media section today. We're going.
That just gives me a break. I can take another week before the next torture.
So we're gonna go like this over here, and we're gonna transition to that, and then we're gonna turn on the music, and we're gonna call this the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. On behalf of John Spencer, Belinda's stuck ass in a window, and Menoth John. Good night, everybody. Have a great one.
Good night.